Hey y'all, welcome in to another episode of our Sistas Keeper, the Tyler Ferry Sisters live after show. It's your good sis you love to talk TV with, and
Your girl Allie Nick giving it to you when I give it to you, but always in the nick of time.
always in a nick of time. Hey y'all, I'm excited to actually have this conversation post this episode. Allie, how are you feeling about episode 16 so far?
Oh, Jesus. Huh. I'm gonna be real with you, dog. You want me to get my rating on it?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, because how I'm feeling about it, I feel like this was a filler episode. I feel like
Really?
I really do. I have a lot of, you know, aches about this particular episode. I got some positivity as well, but I got
Okay.
a lot of aches about this episode. Like real talk, I gave like a 3.5. No lie,
Okay, y'all. So,
I did.
I guess y'all's good sis might be on a Sundance high or something. I don't know. I don't know because I didn't hate it.
You remember that? You remember that segment in Living Color, long time ago, when they was like, "Hated it." I'm right there. I'm right there.
Really?
Yes, yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay.
But it may just be me because there's some people in here giving it some 7 and 8s.
Child, I recorded my breakdown right before we got on here, and I gave it glowing praise. Well, not like glowing praises. I gave it glowing praises for Tyler and for what we have been getting. But honestly, it could. When I think about it, it could just be my residual gratitude. It could just be my residual high vibration from such an incredible last weekend. I spent last weekend in Utah, y'all. I was at the Park City, well, Sundance Film Festival in Park City, Utah, and the Lord got me right together creatively, professionally. So I'm having, I guess, a positive outlook on life. And I did not mind this episode. I was really engaged from the beginning to the end. Um, y'all, what's y'all ratings? Like, let's see what y'all talk about before we. I mean, that's what we're here to do, right? We're here to talk about it. What's the? How y'all feeling about the episode? What's y'all's thoughts? Where's my little chat at? Come on now, cause now I'm curious. Like, oh wait, Erica, you might, you might be missing something. Okay, so Perspective Plans gave it a 4 and a point for for Damani. Shao says I gave it a 10, y'all, because Miss Marie read all them girls on their shortcomings and told them to get it together. Period. Tracy B says my rating would be a 7. Oh, I didn't even give a shout outs and everything. I just jump right on into it. Okay, let me do this. Hey, Perspective Plans. Hey, Just Danielle. Hey, Trina. Hey, Shao Jones. Shout out to my members in the chat. I appreciate y'all so very much. Jamira, Tracy B, Laverne, Kelly Hester Jones. Hey, boo, hey. Princess Faye, Demetria, how are you, honey? Hey, A Noel. Hey, Brandon Ashford. Hey, the chosen one. Hey, Naya or Naya. I think that's correct. Trisha, how are you, honey? Hey, Money Green Tay. Hey, Marie. Hey, Mel. Okay, back to the ratings. Janelle gave it a 4. Demetria gave it a 3. Kelly Hester Jones gave it a 10. Oh, so we really all across the board tonight. We all across the board tonight. A Noel gave it
We
a
are.
5 out of 10. The Chosen One gave it a 6. Princess Faye gave it a 6.5 or a 7. Naya gave it a 4. Trisha gave it a 7. Jamie gave it an 8. Mel gave it a 7. Sierra gave it a 7. Brandon gave it a 7. I think because it's actually just a normal episode, not too much over the top. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Princess Faye gave it a 6.5 or a 7. Tanya gave it a 7. Alicia gave it a 7. We all over the board tonight. I mean, there's a lot of people in the middle. Jamie gave it an 8. But Allie said 3.5. There's a
It
couple
was a
of
3.5 for
tens.
me.
It's a couple tens, but what would I rate it? I would probably give it like a 7.2.
Okay.
I wasn't mad at it. I really wasn't.
Okay.
Um why you rated a 3.5, Allie? Where you at with the shortcomings?
I just don't think I can rate it no higher.
Hey
A
Shari, welcome in, boo.
3.5 is really
Sorry.
welcome everybody. Hey everybody, know you good. For me, it felt like a filler episode. It felt like there were just so many things that they were just compiling into this episode that just wasn't needed. I felt that they could have done other things with the time that was given to people who I just don't care about. And I guess we can get into that a little bit later, but I just felt like for me, the show is called Sistas. It's not called Sisters and Bros. We already had to deal with it turning to Zach and them in the first 3 seasons. Now it's like Sisters and Bros. I don't care about Rich. I don't care about him having a conversation with Jordan. I understand like his concerns, but I don't. I kept saying, "Where is Aaron?" If we're gonna spend time investing in men on this show, it needs to be Aaron, not the new kids on the block. I don't care about them, and it just could be my own personal feelings about these characters. I just feel like too much time was given to them, entirely too much time. And if I feel like this always happens toward the end of each season, we start getting kind of like these filler episodes or episodes where they throw in so many scenes, and then the last like 2 episodes when they want to pile so much of the storyline into it. And that's how I kind of felt about this particular episode tonight. Even though there were moments that I did appreciate, like I do want to ask the chat, like outside of the Miss Marie scene, like outside of that, is that what is contributing to some of the higher scores or the higher ratings tonight? I'm curious about that aspect because I know a lot of people did enjoy that scene, myself included. I'm just curious if that has like more of a weight on the rating than the actual overall episode.
Can y'all hear me?
I can you. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, post that in the chat. What are your reasonings behind rating it higher? If I'm gonna think about my 7.2, Miss Marie basically co-signed everything that I said, almost as if April had like watched a bunch of Erica videos and was like, you know what, you right. You know what, you right. You know what, you're right. That's what it felt like for me. But it's not just Miss Marie. I think that yes, I agree that this is a filler episode, but I feel like it's one of the better filler episodes. Like it's not one of the filler episodes where I feel like we were completely derailed and just sitting here doing absolutely nothing. Pretty much all of the dialogue spoke to where certain characters were or where they needed to be going. I think out of any of the scenes, they spend a little bit too much time with Detective or Agent Wyatt over there at the damn duplex. Like I didn't really care about that, but every other scene I was perfectly fine with. Like Agent Wyatt grabbing Zach's face, I was just like, what are we doing here? Don't get me wrong, I've been wanting people to put pause on Zachary Taylor for a while now, but even that wasn't even as gratifying as it could have been, because it was just like, what the hell are we actually doing? And it wasn't actually warranted in that moment. Now, don't get me wrong, Zach be slapping people left and right, whether it's warranted or not. But I think that that's the only scene that went on a little bit too long for me and I didn't actually need. So on like the scale of Tyler Perry, right? That's pretty damn good, because typically we be throwing out 4, 5, 6 scenes, and we will usually be hopping back and forth, back and forth. At least when we were at the duplex, we were at the duplex. And then when we were at, aside from like popping back to the penthouse because Miss Marie had summoned all the girls, but the scenes were really like contained to where they were, and it wasn't a bunch of unnecessary fake pacing, move you in and then bring you back, move you in and then bring you back. So I do feel like while this was a filler episode, again, it was one of the better, more consistent, deal wittable filler episodes.
I like that word. I like that, deal wittable. I like that. I think for me, and this is so interesting, I think this is the first time we've had such a vast difference in like the ratings that we've had. And I think Agent White scene with with Zach and Fatima definitely was, it was team too much for me. It was
Yeah.
team too much. Are we getting into the scenes? I ain't want to
We
jump
can.
start.
Yeah, go for
Okay.
it.
That particular scene for me, I must say, even though Agent Watt definitely touches a nerve and he gets on my nerves, I did chuckle. I did chuckle when he told Fatima, I thought you were a lawyer. Oh, you only pretend to be one. Baby, I
But Allie, they
hollered.
ruined it. That was so dope. But then they ruined it later because it's like, oh, you're so good. She didn't even say
She didn't
nothing.
say
Andi taught
nothing.
you well. No offense to my girl, but I taught myself. You're not even saying anything. You're literally remaining silent. How we learn that in the hood? Like, shut your mouth.
That's why, see, we're here. We're here. That's how I felt. Because I'm like, oh, Agent White threw some, there was a hella shade at Fatima. Then, as you stated, you had to come back with, oh, and Andi taught you well. Oh, yeah, I see you're going to be great. Enough. And I think that's one of my personal issues.
Yeah.
I am so sick and tired of this show. Big up at Fatima before anybody in the chat say anything. We have not been shown again that Fatima is a great student. I know people like to say she only failed one time, but that's the only time we got to go off of. You're not even passing law school. You have failed your test. You don't even do a good job at your job. We're not seeing that. It's like people just telling us how great you are. Andi taught you well. Andi don't even carry that kind of weight.
Hello.
Andi taught her well. Andi got mad at the professor who gave Fatima the rightful grade that she deserved. So it's like I'm so sick of that aspect of the writing, and all of the writers do it. It's not just one person; they all do it. I even felt like Fatima got. I don't even think she got what she should have got with Miss Marie, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But anyway, that scene was just a little too much for me. With Agent White, Fatima, and Zach, and even with Zach, did the future Miss Taylor. Miss Taylor, how many times do we got to keep hearing Zach talk about my wife, Miss Taylor? Baby, she ain't even claiming that for herself. It's you.
Exactly.
You said about 5 times in this scene. It's like enough is enough. I think for me, like, don't get me wrong. As I've stated, you cannot expect Broadway at the circus. So I do understand that. However, I just feel like with some of the writing on this show, it's like, okay, enough. Y'all do the same thing. Y'all have the same pedigree. Can we just stretch it out just a little bit?
Please.
Just a tad. And then we making it seem like Fatima and Zach are on the same level as the FBI. Give me a break. Like, that scene, it annoyed me so much. Like, give me a break. And then she was like, why would we share anything from our investigation? Your investigation?
Right.
I said, get them the hell off my screen. Get them the hell off my screen. Because what are y'all talking about?
Please and thank you. I can't. No, I think that, yes, you're so right. But, Allie, I fear. I fear that I'll be tuning the Taylors out now, I guess. Because, like, that hit me of like, oh, y'all on the same, y'all got 24 hours to make some shade. Okay. I'm gonna show him this board so he know that we ain't do it. Okay. Like, I don't take anything that Zach and Fatima do seriously. So it's almost like it comes in my eyes and it goes out my damn ears. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. And I don't really pay attention to it. So when I think about me giving the episode a 7.2, I really disassociated the whole duplex scenes. And I'm just like acting like they didn't happen. I guess. Because you're right. Like, it's whack. It's trite. For me, all it does is reaffirm that Agent Watt don't know what the hell he doing, which is speaking to the FBI, not speaking to the credibility of Zach and or Fatima. You are not going to tell me that the girl is damn good and she knows law and da-da-da-da-da so many times, and I still got all I know is that she still got that big ass F. She is so good and knows the law just so much, but she is genuinely worried about going to jail for something that she did not do. But she's a lawyer. Her career is in the criminal justice system. She's supposed to be so quick with it, just so poised to be the next law prodigy. And she's really concerned that y'all gonna go to jail for stabbing a psychopath that you know that you didn't stab? You can't be that damn smart with the law. You can't possibly be, because you think that the best thing for you to do in this moment is for you to solve the case before the cops versus just make sure your ducks is in a row to prove that your ass didn't do it. Okay. Like, that gives stupid to me, but that's just me. I'm not running around here like Daffy Duck. I'm not running around here like Scooby-Doo. I'm not running around here like the goddamn Paw Patrol behind some shit I did not do. I ain't got time for it. But that's just me, again. Oh, hold on. I can't hear you. Ooh. Hold on, Ellie. I can't hear you.
Fatima, honestly, were they really needed this season? Were they really needed this season? If you're going to have them on the show, give them something, because every sister is literally going through something. You have Karen with these children and these two men, and her coming into this new flowering or budding love for Aaron.
Ellie, hold on. You got to go back because I couldn't hear you and they couldn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Shoot. What I was saying was, if they're going to be on the show, if you're going to keep Zach and Fatima, give them something of quality as best as the writers of Sistas can, because you have each of the sisters actually having a pivoting moment in their life, except Fatima. And you got her with this board every episode, like, come on, babe, let's go bring out the board. Like, are you serious? What is happening? What is happening right now? So I know there are some people who just want them on the team. I get it. However, they are a part of the Sisters universe and they are a part of this show. Give them something worthwhile. Because for me, I didn't need to see them every episode because they did nothing.
Yeah.
Even when Detective Watt, Agent Watt asked, "Is your son home?" and Zach was like, "Why? You gonna blame him next?" It's like, he answer the question. Is your son home?
Because we need to know. At this point, I don't give a damn what Detective Watt talk about. We ain't seen the kid in the month of Sunday since she was trying to say chicken nuggets got multiple syllables in it. We ain't seen the damn child. All of season 3 is a team that ain't seen the damn child. Even though we make a note that y'all don't have no goddamn door upstairs. Yeah. Okay. Answer the question, Zach. Actually, is he home?
Is he home?
Y'all can hear Allie, right? I can hear her now. I think y'all should be good. They laughing, so yeah. Oh. So like, I think the duplex and the Zatima-ness of it all is what took. Well, I wasn't gonna get this episode of 10 anyway, but like, that is what definitely has it hovering around the middle of the road. I think I'm only above a 5, and I put it at a 7 because I think that of the filler episodes, this is one of the better ones.
I would say that. I give them that. But yeah.
The kid always on play date. Hey Vaughn, welcome in, boo. And yeah, Ellie, I think that you're right. Zatima wasn't needed. And I don't know, do we... Actually, I do know, but I don't actually want to take the conversation.
Okay.
Because it becomes a conversation around y'all leaning on Crystal's aesthetic and likability for reasons that have nothing to do with what her character brings to the show, nothing to do with her particular standout ability, and that's no shade to her, but it is 100% tied to the aesthetic and the social currency, at least the digital social currency that Zach and the guy who plays him and Fatima and the girl who plays her wield and can potentially direct towards the show. I personally don't think that Sistas would suffer if Zach and Fatima made their exit, but I could totally see how the powers that be could be looking at the numbers online and be like, yeah, no, that ain't gonna be able to work. But you are 100% right. They haven't really given much of nothing this season.
Absolutely nothing. And that has always been one of my issues with this show. I know we get a lot of, I'm gonna say backlash or hate or whatever, but for me, and both of us, we love storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what is being told through Zach and Fatima's story on Sistas right now. And my thing also is all of the other women, they are pushed. And when I say pushed, I'm referring to the abilities of these amazing performers to go outside of themselves and bring something that is truly beautiful to watch. Fatima does not give that. She just doesn't get. I think the only time I've ever been touched, maybe it's been twice, from the character, and that was on Fatima when she met with Ian and discussed what she went through, or the heartbreak she felt when Belinda tried to have sex with Zach, like losing a best friend, and she was crying. I think those are the only two times I've actually really connected with Fatima on an emotional level, and everybody else, they bring that. So these women have cried so many times. And I've only seen her cry twice, and it wasn't even on Sistas. And it's like, I need to see something more from her character. That's why she's just a character I could honestly do without, because what does she really bring? Yeah. And then, dealing with the disrespect, one of my issues with this particular scene, not the scene, but with Zach, Agent Watt said, Gary stated that there was a woman who came into his dressing room, or a woman who was there. Zach's response was, there were other B itches there. I'm like, why are you so comfortable calling these women the B word? Your wife included. Agent White didn't say the B word. He said women. And then you took women and then transferred that to meaning an itch with a B in front of it. Why are you calling these women that? Mm-hmm. I was just like, baby, punch him in the stomach. punch Zach in the stomach for calling these women that. And then you be the main one want to break somebody's jaw if they call Fatima out her name, but you can do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lord. But yeah.
I really think that's what it is for me. I think I really tuned out the duplex stuff.
I believe it.
I was just focusing on the stuff that I actually like. And I guess we can go to Miss Marie at the duplex. I mean, at the penthouse, because from there we can just pop into each character, right? So like going to what she said to Fatima at the penthouse, Zach needs to pedestalize her the same way that she pedestalized him. Baby, when I tell you, this is giving, I'm sorry, it's giving the Writers Watch Erica Vane TV. It is giving the Writers Watch Erica Vane TV. Because who be saying that? I will wait. And I was dragged through the streets, damn near flogged. I have been screaming for the last 5 seasons, as well as all of Fatima, how Fatima has to stop enabling Zach, and how Zach has to be able to meet her where she's at, how he has to be able to reciprocate her damn energy, which means he has to be able to pedestalize her the same way that she is pedestalizing his ass, instead of using her and all that she comes with, all of the loyalty, all of the love, all of the resources, all of the intellect, to his damn benefit, ultimately to her damn detriment. He cannot continue to lean on that while not giving the girl nothing. Zach operates in a way in which he is only concerned with Fatima when he wants to stick parts of her and the parts of him. I mean, parts of him and the parts of her. And then when he wants to speak about the healthy relationship that he's in, the better situation that he's in, it does not give that you are actually investing in Fatima Wilson as a person. You are so hell-bent and so ready to call her Fatima Taylor, drop the Wilson. Y'all asses ain't married yet. And why are you so in a rush to drop her damn last name when you have yet to fully see her? You have yet to fully show up for her. And that is not just blowing her back out and rubbing her feet. That is going to museums with her. That's listening to her talk about philosophy and all the other stuff that you said was whack because all she needed was some thug dick. Like, yes, Miss Marie. Yes. Fatima done lost our goddamn mind. Oh, well, you're not the only one who has told me things and pointed out all of the things that are bad about Zach, but I try to focus on the good. Well, when is he going to focus on your good? When? Because if we can't talk about the very real things, the nature of Zachary Taylor, then let's talk about how he don't even know your ass. Can we talk about that? I low-key want to Miss Marie go in a little bit further, but I get it. We only got a little bit of tidbit here, a little appetizer there, a little appetizer there. But exactly. And maybe you hating ass hoes that got such a problem with me talking about Zach and Fatima will listen now that the fictional billionaire then told y'all asses the same thing.
Those are facts. I can't say nothing. Those are facts, honey. Let me tell you, baby. And I thought about that too. And when Miss Marie said what she said to Fatima about pedestalizing Zach, Fatima sounded like a woman who was uncertain. You know how you always got that one excuse you carry around with you in your purse that you pull out every now and that you pull out all the time when someone brings up the inadequacies of your relationship or what is so profound in your relationship. Well, you're not the only one who has told me, about Zach. And you always have to tell somebody he's a good man. You do it to Angela, you do it to everybody who has something to say, not even something to say, but who reveals the truth about Zach. And you can only back it up with, he's a good man. He really is. Yet you can't tell us how he's good.
Ooh.
Fatima ain't said one time how Zach is good other than the fact that he's good. He's good at what? He's good to who? He's good at being... All of these are question marks. They're unknown because of what I see. I do not see a good man. For the life of me, and I struggle with, this from the beginning of Fatima actually falling for Zachary Taylor. However, now that we're getting more of her past, it makes sense. It makes sense. The people that she picked, the people that she chooses to connect herself with emotionally.
So damn hard. It tracks so
it's
damn
on brand.
hard. And I'm just like, damn, Fatima, when you gonna learn? And now you pregnant by him? Ooh. Ooh, child.
Just like Nzinga said, just like Karen told in the beginning, I wish you well in the struggle.
Ooh. The struggle that you're trying to act like don't exist.
That don't exist. And baby, you knee deep in it. And then, this is the thing about Fatima, she does it to everybody. When someone brings up her inadequacy specifically, oh, I'm good. Mm-hmm. She said that to Zach so many times. Oh, I'm good. I don't need therapy. I had therapy in my 20s. Well, you need to go back. you need to go back.
You need to go back, babe. You need to tune up, hon.
You need to go back because
it's all good. It's all good.
Ain't nothing wrong with a good oil change.
Ain't nothing wrong with it at all.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it, baby. You need to go back, and I think that is the problem. Fatima really thinks she's good.
She does.
She really thinks she's good. And that's scary.
I was just about to say that. It is so scary. Because, baby, you are drifting farther and farther from good every day that you stay within this relationship. And don't get me wrong. Do I think the Fatima relationship is salvageable? Yes. But she is requiring absolutely nothing from Zach. And she's like, it's good. She's quite literally the meme of that little dog sitting in the whole house that's on fire, and she's just like, oh, it's fine, everything's fine. That is Fatima. She really believes she's good, y'all.
She really do, and she been saying that for the longest. I'm on Fatima when she was meeting with Dr. Reed for the first time, and he was asking her like, well, do you need? Oh no, it's not for me. I'm good. The hell. No, you're not.
And even in that time, right? Like, I was like, okay. I didn't know that she wasn't good then, but I knew that she wasn't the biggest obstacle. So I was perfectly fine with her not actually doing anything in that moment because Zach 100% is the problem and was the problem then. Now that we have further backstory and specifically, I'm gonna just say it. Now that I see that Fatima will not leave Zach's ass, There was a time where I believed that she would walk away at a certain point. Now I believe that there is absolutely no point that she would walk away. Now I'm like, no, man, you're not good, actually. You need as much help as you can possibly get. You definitely need a damn therapist. You need somebody to help you figure out your self-worth and not just your self-esteem. Shout out to TikTok, because I was looking on there today and there was a girl who had a conversation around self-esteem versus self-worth, and there's plenty of people who are navigating this world with high self-esteem and low self-worth, and I think that that is exactly what Fatima got going on. She thinks highly of how she looks. She thinks highly of where her career trajectory is. She thinks highly of the things that she can do, but she doesn't inherently value herself and her personhood.
I agree.
And it shows. It shows in all of these decisions that she's making. It shows specifically in how she's navigating this romantic relationship.
Those are facts. Those are facts. I wanted Miss Marie to go in a little bit more, but like you said, we ain't have much time left because I think it was 9:57 when they even got to that darn scene. I said, what's she supposed to do with 5 women in 3 minutes? But all right, I'm gonna give y'all that because I did enjoy the scene. I did enjoy it, and I loved how she okay, we done with Fatima. I want to jump to
before we jump out of
Danni.
Fatima, do we think that she's going to do anything with the information that Miss Marie gave her?
Hell no. Hell no. I really don't, because Fatima thinks she's good, and I think, well, not doing the women individually, but as a collective, I think that every woman showed a spirit of receptiveness except her. I believe every woman did that except Fatima. Damn. I really do. That's just my perception. How do y'all feel?
Agree, friend. I kind of agree. Yeah, okay. What y'all think?
Y'all think feel,
Fatima gonna do anything with that information that Miss Marie, the gem that Miss Marie dropped in front of her?
Ain't no real saying not at all.
His nigga said let it go in one end out the other. Well, she already clocked Andi's tea last episode, and she kind of did today. She did clock Andi's tea. She said, "Ma'am, you were not a passenger. You were not a passive viewer of what was going on. You allowed this man to wreak havoc all over your goddamn career and your life. You were not passive in this." That's the crux of it, y'all. Andi believing that life is happening to her is quite literally her problem, because she is an active participant in all of the sabotage and all of the foolishness that's also playing out in her life. And it's really just that simple of like, you need to realize that you are a part of this. This is happening with your consent, honey. You are not being railroaded in any way. You are literally consented to this abuse. You have consented to the disrespect. You have consented to the dismissal. You have consented to the betrayal. You literally at every step of the way consented to every negative thing that has happened to you, specifically as it pertains to this Gary Border saga. The man was married when you met him and you knew it. You consented, babe.
That was a word Miss Marie dropped. You were not a passive passenger on this ride. That hit me in my spirit when she said that, because for so many years and seasons, we have seen Andi not take any type of responsibility and accountability for what she has allowed to happen in her life. And I think one of the greatest seasons that show just how detrimental Gary was to her was in season 2. And when you had someone like Karen, I think it's one of my all-time favorite episodes and scenes with them, when Karen went into her room after Gary almost sent her to glory, and both of them were emotional, and Karen was telling her she can't go through that again, especially since what the dude in college did to her and things of that nature. And to see Andi continue to make excuse after excuse after excuse for Gary when she know the way that they started was problematic. And then when things just got, I guess, unsalvageable in her eyes, it went to all the blame is on him. So you went from taking up for him, making excuses for him, justifying the things that he was doing to you. Now all of a sudden everything is his fault. And you have no blame. You have no responsibility, no accountability for what you did. But then you used to brag about knowing he was married from the very beginning. So she has been all over the place. So I was so glad, because sometimes we do need to hear things from a different source. And so for Miss Marie to tell her that, like, no, baby, you ain't been passive. You have allowed him to do certain, that you allowed this. And it's like, yeah, sit in that. Sometimes we need to sit in that.
Yeah.
When we have disassociated ourselves from the things that we've caused in our life, someone got to will us back in, like, nah, babe, I need you to sit in this because you did this. You allowed this. Sit in that. And whatever feeling that it brings up, deal with it. But sit in that. So I'm interested to see how Andi maneuvers through this. I still don't know. Her thing might be like Fatima too. It might be a perm that don't take with Andi too. Because Andi feels that she rightfully it might be. Because Andi feels that she rightfully deserves something that she has not earned. That she has not worked for. So I don't know. Her and Fatima might be on the same field when it comes to that.
I would hope not, because there's something so powerful that could be discussed in the whole conversation around accountability and realizing how active you are in the negative things. Like, we are so willing to jump up and accept responsibility when things are going well and going right in our lives, right? But it's when things are not going well, when things are seemingly crumbling around you, that you also can still take accountability and some type of responsibility, because oftentimes things are not just happening to you. So I hope that they do have Andi receive some of it, because so many of the other characters need to do this as well. But Andi is probably the biggest pillar of, like, yes, girl, you need to really come out of this whole passive ideal. And like you said, Allie, really sit with the gravity of the consequences to the decisions that you made. You don't get to excuse away and scapegoat your part in this so that you don't actually get to grow from it. And at the end of the day, why go through hell and high water? Why make all the mistakes that you're making? Why take the damn L's if you're not going to not going to learn from them? And again, this is something that to me reverberates for the rest of the characters. And I get tons of pushback about this too, because I'm constantly calling for people to have accountability. I'm constantly calling for people to accept responsibility for things like this, because specifically the direct result of you doing that, the direct result of sitting in the shame, sitting in the guilt, sitting in the frustration, sitting in the disappointment, sitting in whatever feelings come up, once you have to sit up and say, damn, I really decided to be with a married man because he was fine and he had hella money. What does that say about me? The next thing that comes after that is growth. The next thing that comes after that is evolution. You literally are able to, yes, feel very hurtful, deep, sometimes murky feelings, but ultimately those are the things that become the fertile ground for you to grow something beautiful and something better from yourself. And that is all I be calling for, whether it's with Andi, whether it's with Zach, whether it's with Fatima. And it feels like the only character, well, I'm going to say the only character because, one, I don't think that Sabrina has been given enough to even be able. One, doesn't do enough to actively have to like suffer and then do that. And I think that she's capable of it, but she hasn't been given enough. The only character that we actually get to see do this is Karen, but then we still get that character ostracized by the audience for literally doing the process that everybody else should be doing as well. Because all the rest of these hoes ain't perfect. Y'all are making mistakes just as much as Karen is making mistakes. The only difference is Miss Mamas is catching every single consequence, accepting responsibility for said consequence, sitting in her feelings and her shame behind it, processing said feelings and pushing through, and y'all asses is still stuck on the other side because you won't even accept. The power is in the acceptance, and Andrea Barnes, your ass need to get to accepting. Why you want to sit up here and quit? Why you want to throw in the towel? Why I don't even think I'm going to return to Brinson Jones, Leland, and Law. Then don't go back home. because you already has shown that you were already outside of your league to begin with. So if you don't return and you were never actually supposed to be here, if you do return and you ready to deal with your shit and actually get to business and actually be the person that you claim to be and that you want people to believe you to be. I know I just said a whole bunch of words, y'all, but that was what was on my spirit.
It was good though, and it, as you were talking, because there's a specific, a particular lady who loves to comment. I've seen her in your comments, and she comment under my videos as well, and she loves to say that we are judgmental. That's like her keyword. We're judgmental, and I think on this platform on our Sisters Keeper, I shared that unfortunately, I can relate to Andi in the sense of having something with a married man. I was in college, I was 20, and we were friends. He got married, he was 18 years old, and came to school. We're in our sophomore year, and we ended up having a sexual relationship. We weren't like in a committed relationship or nothing like that, no emotional connection, but it was a friend, and we crossed the line in our friendship. And he was married. At the time, I wasn't even thinking that the dude was married because he was just my homeboy, but legally, he was married. And I remember the situation with us, it happened twice. And my friends were trying to tell me, like, Lee, don't even worry about it. Like, you know, I mean, he married, but they tried to make every excuse under the sun for me to be okay with what I did. And as a 20-year-old, there were certain things in my life at that time that I prided myself on things that I would never do. And being involved with the married man was something that I stated I would never do because I do respect the sanctity of marriage. Yet I'm in a situation where I did something that broke the promise, that broke the standard that I had for myself and my life, all of that. And even when, like I said, my friends trying to tell me, girl, don't worry about it, it's okay. It wasn't okay. Like, that is adultery. I had sex with a married man, and I had to sit in that, and I had to deal with the emotions that came with that, the guilt, the shame, the embarrassment. After that euphoric feeling dies off, and you got to sit with what you've done. Not only that, it affected our friendship because once that happened, we couldn't go back to how we were. So someone who was legitimately a good friend of mine, that dynamic has forever changed. It forever changed. And it's like, you know, when you have to deal with the consequences of your decisions, it does change you. It does show you how to walk a little differently, how to handle certain things a little differently, not to be so quick of operating out of a desire to know what it's like to be with somebody sexually. Sometimes just the thought of it is enough. You ain't got to go act on it. Ooh. You know, just you got to go act on it. And that was me as a 20-year-old. So when I look at these asses who's knocking on 40's door, and I know we all grow at different times in our lives, I really want these women to sit, like you stated. Karen has sat with so many heavy emotions, and we have seen what that looks like, the good, the bad, the ugly, chaotic, all of that. We have seen what it looks like to journey with her as she maneuvers through this. These other people, like you said with Sabrina, very capable, but they don't give her enough to go through it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like I wish we could see that. And not depend on I'm good, you know, yeah, I got myself taken care of. No, you don't. And I think it's so powerful that as women, we can share, yeah, I did that. This is how it affected me. However, the other side, when I came out of that, this is the person I was from, you know, that experience. Like, it doesn't define me. It's a part of my journey, a part of my story, but it doesn't define who I am as a woman. And it is, for me, so essential for us to see these women go through that process and what it looks like. Because we all, you know, exactly. I'm not saying we all, many of us have done things that is like, girl, what the hell was you thinking?
Okay. And that's the tea. Like, I think that's also something that our audiences miss, but specifically our like hypercritical audience members. miss in that when we like identify certain things about a character or something that's going on with a character, and we say, oh, this person is operating narcissistically, or they are giving da 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 da, they're selfish or such and such. Just because you are assigned that characteristic in that moment, or because you are behaving in that way, doesn't mean that you have to stay in that place, or you have to, or that it becomes the label of your life. Like you said, like that could be something in the moment, but you only are able to move through it or move out of it once you actually accept that that's actually the case. What comes up for me when I think about that is like, God cannot bless who you pretend to be, and you cannot use the GPS to route your ass to where you're trying to go from someplace that your ass is not at. Like, if you're not being honest about where you actually are, then how in the hell are you going to plot a path to get to the person that you want to be, to get to all your hopes and your dreams, to get to the actualization and the realization of all of the things that you want to manifest for your life? You ain't even starting with where you're at. That's not how it works, babe. And I want that to be a thing that people actually receive when they're listening to us, specifically when they're listening to our critique of the characters and some of the decisions that they're making within their fictional lives, because that is the point. I personally feel like that. Like, I've had the best, I think, moments of clarity, moments of growth, and true evolution in some of my darkest moments where I feel like I was a shitty person. But it's the like acceptance of like, that was selfish, that was shitty, that was disrespectful, that was condescending, that was elitist of you. It's in that for you to really be able to know, okay, so I need to not do this again. This comes out this way from my body, from my mouth, from like, if you don't ever actually sit with that, accept that, then how the hell do you know to avoid it? Like, how do you don't. And I think people are so, especially today, people are so like hyper fixated on being perceived the way that they want to be perceived, that they don't ever give themselves the chance to be perceived however you're perceived, but then deal with it and then tailor and grow yourself to the perception that you actually want to be by doing the work. You just want to say, oh, I'm a great person, or oh, I'm a great girlfriend, or oh, I'm a da 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 da, but you have none of the work to back it up. You have none of the lived experiences to actually back it up. You want people to believe you are something because you say you are, but the only way for you to be something is to be it. You saying it doesn't do anything. There's quite a few. Wait, go ahead.
No, you just like, as you were speaking, it made me think of a memory, because sometimes, you know, when you've done something and people want to keep that label on you. Going back to the same situation with my homeboy. So we were chilling in my dorm. Well, I lived on campus apartment. So we chilling, me and a couple friends, like we chilling in the room watching a movie. So in their minds, they're trying to set, now this is after we done had sex, after we done came to the conclusion that this will never happen again, after I went to church and asked God to forgive me for what I've done, because I felt, oh God, the emotions that came with that. So my friends started leaving out the room one by one to leave me and him in there by ourselves. And I'm like, so me and him in the room, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I get up and go in the front. I was like, why did y'all leave? And so they were like, one of my good friends, so I consider her my little sister. She was like, oh, I thought that maybe y'all wanted. I said, did we not have a conversation? Did I not tell you what happened between he and I? It should have never happened. I said, I have forgiven myself. I have asked God to forgive myself. I said, and y'all are my friends. I said, don't ever put me in a situation like that again. Like, don't ever do that. And so, like, when I think about, so as you were speaking, I thought about that, and I thought about the friendships of these women. And even though, yeah, y'all got a sister circle, and yeah, y'all could be there for each other, when you are changing and when you have changed, sometimes people want to keep you from how they once knew you, and you got to let them know, listen, yes, I did that, but I am not that person anymore. Don't ever put me in a position like that, or don't ever say that to me again. Are we clear? Because I had to make sure, like, baby, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. And I know what he's working with. Don't ever do that. I don't want to be in a position where I got to battle that. Like, why would y'all do that to me? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you do that?
And quiet as kept, friend, being honest and accepting your responsibility and taking accountability in various circumstances, specifically in mistakes, it doesn't just help you better see yourself if you're going to allow yourself to be honest with yourself. But in that moment, this allowed you to see your friends, and are they actually your friends, and are what type of friend are they? Because the friends that I have now, I am blessed to like really be able to experience people who won't call me out on my shit. Like, you said that you want to be this girl. This girl does this and this, and you over here doing this. So what's up? Like, and I now, what I could say that I have, especially in my 20s, have had friends who will probably put me in a similar situation as you, because they might be lesser evolved, they might, vibrate very low, they might not see nothing wrong and like be very short-sighted. But taking accountability and responsibility in the moment and being able to be real with yourself allows you to do that with other people, so that you are able to assess this person and like you have this conversation. I would also go as far as like, what would make you think that this is okay? Because not that you have to be judging me as a friend, but as a friend, you should be trying to support my best interests. And even if I'm making decisions that's outside of my best interest, I would want my friend to still be moving in a way that's for my best interests.
Absolutely. And let me just say, because we were very young. So I was 20. So a lot of them were like 18, 19, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying, years old at the time. But it was still the fact, like, I wanted to put hands on them, like, don't. Especially when girl, this was the first time in my life that I went to, not that I went to church, but I went to church. And you know how they do the altar call at the end?
Mm-hmm.
Girl, I ain't waiting no altar call. I went straight up. I was so disgusted with myself. That's like that conviction. Like Nzinga was saying, that conviction was so strong. I felt so dirty, so shameful and embarrassed. The pastor didn't have to do no altar call. I went straight up. The moment I got in that church, it felt like a scene from a movie. I went straight up there. I was so disgusted with myself, and my friends were there. Like, even though we were young, I'm like, y'all know what happened. Y'all was there with me. Still, why would you, what I'm saying, why would you do that? But of course, we have evolved, and things of that nature. And I am grateful for the presence they had in my life. But you gotta surround yourself with people that's definitely gonna call you out. You know what I'm saying, on your stuff. And I don't care if you get mad. You gonna get over it. And I think that's one of the things I appreciate the most about Karen when it comes to her friendship, especially with Andi. She didn't care.
But see,
I'd rather
that's
you
the
get mad at
tea,
me.
Allie. That's the tea. You can only even show up in your friendships as that if you are doing it for yourself, because you can only
Mm-hmm.
meet people where they are or where you are, right? And I was thinking about this today on my walk, of like, so much of our reality is literally perception. It is literally our mindset and how we actually think about things. So it's important for you to be able to take accountability when things are going good and things are going bad in your life, because then you're able to have a more well-rounded perspective as you approach all of life in general. And to your point, like the Karen character, because she takes accountability when it's going right, she takes accountability when things are going wrong, she apologizes whether she should or not.
Mm-hmm.
And because she does that with herself, she's also able to now do that with her friends who are not able to operate as freely within the realm of accountability as she is. And it's real to see. It's very authentic, because a lot of times we are unequally matched sometimes with our friend group, especially if you like met people in college or you grew up with somebody. Like, not like you said earlier, not everybody grows at the same rate. But again, it to me just reaffirms the importance of you being able to be accountable, be responsible, and sit with big feelings.
Yes. All that.
Harold, you
All
can
that.
go, babe. You could go.
We can go back to this.
And Zika says
Oh
yes,
Lord.
that's why she started gravitating towards Fatima. Like Zach Bloop.
Mm. That's a whole nother conversation right there. Cause yes, ma'am. I agree with you all the way. I agree with you all the way. I really do.
Oh my. Oh my goodness. It's so interesting. Um Now I'm going to go on a tangent. So bear with me.
Okay.
Men, when you enter into women's spaces, and I would go as far as to say that this is a woman's space, similar to how white women should navigate spaces in which they are amongst black women, I would advise you to look and listen. Not make too much noise, not draw too much attention to yourself, especially if you are not here to empower the women in conversation. Because not only are you the minority here, but also if you're not adding any value, you are just screaming of how unnecessary you are to the space. Just a little PSA. All right.
Handle that well.
Oh, and I feel like this person is very new here because I don't remember seeing the screen name before. And I don't want to go as far as blocking them, but let's not be lame.
Please, let's not do that.
All right, so we did Fatima. We did. Oh, you wanted to go to Danni, right?
Yes. I give Danni hell because I feel like she deserves it. However, this moment, I think that it was so powerful for these words to come from Miss Marie. And even though they had their little funny moment, back and forth, about her putting hands on her and stuff like that, I could appreciate the encouragement and the impartment that Miss Marie gave her. And I think it was so important too to not harp on Danni's shortcomings in that moment, but to deal with the fact of she is doing what a lot of people in our community don't do that needs to do, and that is to seek help. Even though I felt like they really played in our face with the therapy storyline, I was glad to see a mother figure give Danni that encouragement that she needed to break down that wall, that guard that she had up initially. It was a beautiful moment for me with Danni and Miss Marie, and I'm glad that Danni allowed herself to receive it.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't always do that. It's very rare that she does that. So I was grateful to see that moment for her.
Yeah, I have no notes. And shout out to Mignon because I actually ran into her in Park City. We were on the street. I was waiting to go into this event, and I stopped her, and I was like, "I'm Erica Vane," and I talk about Sistas, and she's like, "Oh, really, girl?" So we're supposed to connect, and potentially maybe bring her on the show to talk, because we talked for a second about Daniela's character, and I was like, "Girl, finally!" She was like, I have been asking. We're finally here, and I'm literally hollering on the street." Yeah. While she's trying to go into this macro thing. So shout out to me, y'all. I have no notes either for Daniela King in this episode. I love the energy that both Miss Marie and Danni bring, and I like them in a room together. I like them actually being able to interact. I know we're not going to see much more of that. But like you said, I appreciate her being able to receive it, because I think that she needed to hear that specifically, of just keep going. It's going to be hard. It's going to be rough. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be jarring. You're going to feel shame. You're going to feel a lot of the things, but keep going, because you've already done the hardest part, which is to ask for help and to get started. Now it's just about keeping on. And to your point of yes, they did not have to harbor on all of Danni's tragic ass past, because she's already on the path to move forward. And that was the whole point. We have literally been begging for her to get to this place. So again, I actually have no notes about that. But I do have notes for Mr. Tony. Yeah. Mr. Tony down there at the damn airport talking about this isn't favoritism. It is quite literally the definition of favoritism, sir. You only see something in her because you have been inside of her enough and now have cultivated a belief in her. While that might not have been your intentions, you are favoriting her in certain circumstances because you believe in her personhood, which is perfectly fine. It could have all the great intentions in the world. But sir, you provided her with an opportunity that she would not have gotten because of her proximity to you, and her proximity comes from you sticking the parts of you and the parts of her. You talking about this is not favoritism? What the hell is it, Tony? What the hell is
it? Girl, we here. I said, wait. Tony, it is the epitome of favoritism. What is not connecting for you? You literally did exactly what the complaint. It ain't clicking. The dots ain't connecting. You literally did exactly what the complaint said that you did. The deadline had passed. You got her in there because she's your girlfriend, not because. And my thing was, even if you believe in Danni, since we have been following this show, we had to, in the beginning, I think it was the first season, we had to be told that she was a supervisor because her work ethic did not show it. Mm-hmm. Danni has not shown any desire for forward movement at this airport. You got her in that position because she's your girl and you wanted better for her life. It was favoritism. She is not a model employee. Danni does as she pleases. But you feel like she was on track for a leadership program. It was definitely favoritism, as you stated. It's because, as you look to eloquently say, because you are sticking parts of you into parts of her. That is the only reason that Danni was put in that position. And the guy who made the complaint, we already know who did it, was well within his right. Because he may be nosy, he may be all of that, but he appears to be a great employee. Mm-hmm. And nobody, and as the lady from HR was talking, I just kept thinking about Tony coming out of his office, making passes at Danni in front of people, in front of the fellow that their co-workers, in front of the patrons of the airport. I'm like, you have no couth and you have no professionalism, because why are you doing this? If anything, you should be carrying yourself in a manner and in a way that is respected, and you're not. Yeah. So I blame you for putting us in this position.
Hello. But you know what
having sex in your office.
You know what tracks about the whole thing, though? While it's annoying as hell, because, sir, you are doing exactly what they said that your asses was doing. It tracks in the fact that he's a man. And so often men think that they are right because they said they were. That's it. That's it. That's the only criteria. I didn't do that because I said I didn't do that. I was right in to do this because this was what I wanted to do. He is completely oblivious to the fact of, like, you literally are doing textbook favoritism. But because you feel like you don't want to identify as that, it's not that. That's what they be saying when they say it's a man's world, y'all. But Tony, stop it. Stop it. You're going to get y'all's asses fired. The both of you.
Yeah. That's going to be next. Now, before we go to Sabrina, do we want to deal with her lack of a man first before we deal with her at the table?
Well, I feel like it bleeds in. So, like, let's start with her at the table and then we can just go back.
Okay.
Because I really, really, really enjoyed Novi in this episode. I've been enjoying Novi the past 3 episodes, actually. Like, baby, the performances.
She was my favorite. She was my favorite before. She was my favorite this episode.
It was so the touches of the tears and the emotional weight and the letting stuff hit you and wash over you. It was just so specific. It wasn't overdone. It felt so real. Like, Sabrina was going through it this episode emotionally, internally, and all of it felt very, very real. Now, again, Miss Marie only told y'all what Erica has been saying. Erica has still not gotten her ass off of Rich's neck, okay? A wavery ass Negro can't do nothing for you. He is inconsistent. He is giving inconsiderate. Girl, absolutely not. You need to be making decisions based off of what you want to have happen, what you need to have happen, regardless of that particular man. Honey, he don't want kids. He do want kids. Next minute, he ain't gonna want no damn kids. You can't have kids. Who gives a good goddamn when it comes to him? What do you want to do? How do you want to do it? Then decide. That man will move around or he'll get with the program. Period, Miss Marie. Because quiet as kept, I still don't want that man to be her damn baby daddy because he's inconsistent. He don't know what he wants. He's inconsistent and he's insecure and he's very much so immature. What the hell is she supposed to do with that? You want to have one kid, not two, especially not no grown ass kid. So yes, I appreciate everything that Miss Marie said, and I think that it washed over her, that she was receptive to what Miss Marie said. I pray, because this tracks for Sabrina's character. She's the one who needs the external validation. Maybe Miss Marie's words are the words that she needs to be able to move forward unapologetically and do what she knows that she needs to do as it pertains to these damn eggs.
Yes. And especially when she told Sabrina that man's rejection is sometimes God's protection. And I'm like, baby, you don't know how much of God's protection you need from Rich. Because he is just not the one. Everything that you just stated about him being inconsiderate, immature, insecure, all the things, it continues to show like this is your character. This is literally who he is as a man. It's not a sporadic situation. It's like every moment that he appears on my screen, even though I was loving the sickle cell conversation. Mm-hmm. Rich is one of those men that I believe is dangerous because the way that he spoke to Sabrina, and he always assumes the worst about her. Mm-hmm. For you to say that you love this woman, for you to be committed to her, for you to say, you know, she the love of your life and you want to be with her, you think the absolute worst of this woman. Forgetting the fact that her and Dominique are co-workers, you believe that she called him after finding out that your sperm wasn't viable. You didn't ask her any questions. You just automatically assumed. And when she attempted to tell you the reasoning for him being there, you were about to tell her that she was full of but you didn't say the whole S word and you just walked away. I said, Sabrina, let him go.
Please,
baby, honey. Let him walk and keep on moving. Keep on moving. Don't stop. No. Keep on moving. Because, baby, what? What? Okay. Because why you talk to this woman like this? And he's too comfortable with it. To me, he's too comfortable with talking to Sabrina. Like, I understand his concern. I understand he's processing. And I do understand that sometimes we do go off on people closest to us when things are going awry in our lives and things like that. But Rich does this even when things ain't really going like that. He just does this. I'm like, this is just who you are. I'm seeing why the first wife left you. Because you talk to women crazy. You really do.
Erratic as hell. And to your point, Allie, he assumes the worst. In my breakdown, I talk about this. Like, Sabrina, when are you going to realize that enough is enough? Because this man is so quick and ready to believe that he is going to lose you. Meanwhile, you have given him absolutely no evidence to point to that way. He has said that you are desperate for his dick. He has said that you have tried to trap him. He has said that he don't want to have kids, even though you do want to have kids. And yet still your ass is smiling right there like, yes, Rich, that's my man. What more do you have to do to show that you're actually in this thing? This, at this point, is just exasperating the emotional abuse that he consistently tries to inflict upon her, all because he has poor emotional regulation of himself. And again, those are problems that you need to deal with. Take that shit elsewhere. Because Sabrina's not the girl to do it. She can't fix this for you. You need to fix this for yourself. She has been loyal. She has been consistent. She has been present within y'all's relationship. She has given you no reason to believe that her eyes are looking elsewhere, and yet and still at any given moment that you get the opportunity to believe the worst about her, believe that she could be disloyal, believe that she will walk away from you, you do. This is all Rich problems that Rich needs to damn deal with, and Rich needs to take out of Sabrina's damn life, because unfortunately Sabrina is a validation seeking people pleaser. So when she's matched up with an insecure, inconsistent, immature ass man, she thinks that now it's her job to jump over hoops, go under staunches and whatnot, to bust through and reassure because he's insecure, of overly manage their circumstances because he's immature, and be really, really consistent, really, really communicative because he's inconsistent. And it's like, no, yes, in partnerships there's give and take, but you cannot be the only one giving and they the only one taking. That's not how the give and take go.
Come on.
And Miss Marie said all of that while saying just the very bare minimum of words, and I pray to God that Sabrina actually heard her. And Dominique showing up when Dominique showed up gave also, like, ma'am, you're giving highly favored. Man's rejection is God's protection. Okay? Dominique's ass showing up letting you know that I'm still very much so an option. And it's also not cool that they backed out on you on last minute. Oh, he ain't back out on you? Okay, that's cool. I'm sorry that you're going through this, but don't forget. Don't forget. You're still good. And yes, does Dominique have some type of ulterior motives? I believe he do, Allie. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Oh, absolutely.
I believe he do. But then that something to me speaks to the man who can see a great thing for the great thing that it is and be ready to step up to the plate and give that thing all of what it damn deserves, versus the man who gets the great thing and wants to bring the great thing down to just good or mediocre because they want to have it because it's great, but they don't think that they need to provide or put in anything to maintain the greatness of that thing.
Yes.
Hopefully y'all caught that. I'm just saying.
That was a word. Because as you stated, not only is it given that you are blessed and highly favored, Sabrina, but no weapon formed against you shall prosper.
Hello.
Because you got some more sperm waiting in the cut over here for you to use. See, God provided a ram in the bush. And that ram is Dominique, okay? So let's not get beside ourselves. Now, yes, do Dominique have an ulterior motive? Yes, and he can ulterior motive me all he wants. Because that's a nice chocolate-looking man.
He was looking very good, Allie.
Wasn't he?
He was looking very good this episode. I said, wait a minute now.
That's a nice look. That's a nice looking chocolate man right there, baby. That skin was skinny.
Period.
That skin was skinny. He looked amazing. And I'm like, and maybe not right now that she wants to, start anything, or nothing may not come of it. But at least you do have someone who is willing and able to provide you what you thought was going to be something that you would lose in the end, or that you wouldn't be able to do it. And the one thing I do understand, like, being cautious. But one thing I do love, I love an assertive man, because I look at people who get with a woman and you be with them for 5 years and I want no, because don't get me wrong, everybody don't want to get married. Like, everyone does not want to get married. But I honestly believe when a man meets you, it don't take him long to know that you're the one I want to spend the rest of my life with, that you're the one that I want to commit myself to. That's why I have so much love for Aaron, because Aaron wasn't playing.
Hello?
He believed that Karen is his good thing, and he's been acting like she is his good thing since the moment he popped up on the darn screen.
Period.
So that's why I rocks with him so hard and heavy. So with Dominique, yes, it is a little bit alarming that you ready to give up your sperm so quick. But I do believe that when you feel like you have met someone that is your good thing, oh baby, you're trying to be persistent, consistent, and always in their vicinity. And so I do like that about him. But I'm so interested to see how Sabrina maneuvers through this. But like you said, Novi gave a hell of a performance, and have been these past 3 episodes. And tonight, just her sitting in her emotions while she was on the job, and Dominique came in, and her revealing the things that was going on, and even at the table with Miss Marie and her being receptive of the things that you may had a hiccup in the role, but that doesn't stop what you believe your purpose is. Don't let that stop you from getting to your end goal. Yeah, bumps in the road gonna happen, but guess what? You stay locked in on where you trying to go, and you gonna get there, baby. You gonna get there. And I was so happy for the women having that motherly tone, because we always see Miss Lisa, which I could really do without her. But I was glad that it came from a voice that they could be receptive to, and a voice that, Miss Marie got her own stuff going on, but sometimes you just need somebody to speak life into you. And I'm glad that Sabrina had that, because I know she's in in a position right now, but she got all kind of thoughts going through her mind.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need somebody to speak, you know, and give you a sense of ease
Yeah.
and comfort. So I was glad that she got an opportunity to experience that, especially after having such a heaviness, a burden on her. And then for Rich to come to her job to talk to her about this, kick me up after I clock out. Why you coming to my job?
It's giving Zachary Taylor.
Okay. Okay.
I want to talk a little bit about Miss Marie though before we go
Okay.
to our good sis Karen.
Aaron. Okay.
Because I was wondering throughout this episode, why did Miss Marie need to talk to all the girls? And the thing that I came up with, which I would love to know what you think, but
Mm-hmm.
the thing that I came up with is that Miss Marie might be one of those very affluent women who has found herself in circles of other affluent, rich women who don't have a ton to offer, who don't necessarily come from where she comes from, and she's desperately seeking community, but in a way, in a round the way type of way. And I think that Miss Marie wants to create a little bit of impact. So she is doing all of this because she knows that she has a position in life that people would aspire to, so they will listen to what she has to say because she has something that they actually will want. But I think that she again desperately wants community, specifically with girls that look like her and may have come from where she come from and be navigating in spaces that she hopes to be in, but she might have black girl a little bit too close to the sun and has kind of like evolved out of financially. I couldn't for the life of me figure out when I read the synopsis of like why Miss Marie would need to be talking to all these girls, and when I think about it, that is what came up for me. Why do you think that Miss Marie felt the need, felt so compelled, not only to even be so invested in Andi and making sure that Andi doesn't quit and walk away, but then also extending that into her friendship circle?
I think that, well, initially when I read the synopsis as well, my first thought was, what the hell is she gonna tell them when you just got done boning and hating 2 weeks ago? Like, what are you gonna say to them? And watching this moment, I do agree with what you said about. I think that Miss Marie, the circles that she may travel in, she may be the only person who looks like her there.
Mm.
And I believe with Andi, that's who she has had the most contact with or connection with. Maybe even more so trying to not protect Andi, but fill Andi's cup up to know that this could possibly be your, because Andi's already a millionaire. Like when it comes to her circle of friends, Andi has super surpassed them in the finance department.
Mm-hmm.
However, don't lose sight of everybody has something that they are working towards, and everybody has a thorn in their side. Don't get so high and mighty that you forget you got your thorn too, because sometimes you can become what's the word, desensitized to the pain that you have. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I feel like with her, she needed that just as much as they needed that, because she even verbalized it. She was like, I needed this too. And I think that with Miss Marie, like you said, she came from where they came from, and possibly even worse beginnings, you know what I'm saying, than they did. I think that her ability to um, create an impact not only in a professional way but also personally too, because I even like the fact that after she said what she said, she still stood on business with Andi. If you ain't back where you need to be in a week, I'm taking my business elsewhere, even after I have poured into y'all. Don't get it twisted.
Don't get it
Like
twisted,
she
ho.
was still right, like she was still about her business. And I just think that it's so vitally important too, to show that I remember I was in a program when I was in high school with a professional football player, Derek Brooks, and he always talked about throwing the rope back over the fence. When you make it, you throw
Mm.
the rope back over the fence and you bring somebody else up. And when I looked at her in that moment, I just saw her with a rope pulling 5 women across the fence. Like, I made it, I'm gonna
Mm.
pull y'all up here too. Because I may not be able to be where you are all the time or impart wisdom, but what I am gonna say to you, I need y'all to take this And what I'm saying, and go on with your life. Like she said, go into this big crazy world and live large, live huge. Stop thinking small. Think big. Do the impossible. And sometimes, even with your friend circle, it could get stagnant at times. Well,
Mm-hmm.
ain't nobody really encouraging nobody to do nothing great. It's just, the mediocrity, the mediocre stuff. And so I just felt like with Miss Marie, I was thankful for them. I didn't think I was gonna be, but I
Yeah,
was
me
truly
either.
grateful for the moment.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really was.
I just want to take a second because I think that it's very easy to, hear the things that Miss Marie said to all the women, but then I wanted to make sure I carved out a space for us to talk about what this would do for Miss Marie. So you hit the nail on the head with that, Allie. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Our good sis Karen. Why is she so
Karen.
cute? She just looks so cute. I'm really loving this season for her. Like, quiet as kept. I asked them to chill out on the Karen trauma, and they did for the most part.
They did.
They
They did.
did. I'm enjoying Karen. I mean, I've been enjoying Karen through hell and hot water. I was riding with her, but I'm enjoying this particular season for her and all of the affirmation that has been coming her way.
Karen was it was a high point for me because it is rare. It has been such a long time since we have heard Karen express any type of romantic feelings towards Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing we heard from her was when she told Pam, well, of course he was going to grow on me. Excuse me?
Child.
Grow on you? I'm going to ignore that and like that never came out of her mouth. But it was refreshing to hear her say how she is feeling about this new rekindled thing with Aaron, and it just feels like it's new. And it made me feel, I would think it's last episode where she was like, she's building a new life for her, and I felt she was talking about Aaron and what that new life with him would look like and how
Mm.
they're going to fashion that. So when she made reference to him tonight, I was so excited and happy for her. First of all, I didn't like the look Fatima gave when she was like, she's having feelings for one of her baby daddies, and Fatima gave her this look. Like, girl, don't nobody want to deal with Zach but you. Don't nobody want him but you. Well, people may want him, but ain't nobody gonna put up with him but you. And so, even the look of disgust that Karen had on her face, not Zach. Like, come on now.
Right.
Um, I was just very happy, for her, and even the things that Miss Marie told her. I can't remember verbatim, but your situation isn't ideal. It's not ideal. However, you can still make the best of it. And if you are going to rekindle this, you make sure that you're doing this for you and what you want your life to look like for you and your children and him.
Yep.
So and she was like, you're right, you're right. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want Karen to make any hasty decisions because I want this to be when she does make the decision, however she decides to communicate that with Aaron, I want that to be her happily ever after.
Mm.
I really
Same.
do. And I believe it will be because we have actually seen this character go through the muddiness of healing, so to know that when she gets with this man, she doesn't have to deal with the past.
Yep.
That she ain't got to deal with that.
I love it, and I am just so very, 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 very excited. Y'all, Karen is quite literally the personification of all the work that y'all's faves are avoiding, and they are going to continue to suffer because of it. And I pray these writers don't double back into Karen's suffering season, because if anybody has earned the joy and the happily ever after that they are about to receive, it is this character for sure, like 100%. It's interesting to me how Fatima had a little moment of like when she said, "Oh, I think I'm having feelings for one of my baby daddies again," and then Fatima's like, "Didn't y'all just have a conversation? Why are you so concerned?" Mm-hmm. This again, y'all avoiding the work that needs to be done. If you had done what you need to do within your relationship, you wouldn't be so insecure. But okay, I'm gonna let you. We just talked about Fatima, whatever. Um, it feels so grounded and real for her to arrive here, and I struggle. I struggle with the whole he grew on me. Girl, he ain't no damn fungus. Don't do my man like that. Like, struggle every step of the way of like, Karen, why can't you see this man? Why can't you see yourself with this man? Why can't you see the joy and the happiness that's calling out to you if you just accept it? Just reach out your hand and allow it to fall into your hand. But so much of her story was just authentically to the process that is the second guessing, that is the like punishing yourself, that is the guilt, the shame, all of the things that come from it. So to your point, this was such a beautiful moment, and it does make sense, and it tracks in reference to Miss Marie, knowing a little bit about her because they are in business together. And I think it's important I'm glad that it was Miss Marie, specifically as it pertains to Karen, because I think that none of these other hosts could tell Karen shit. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, y'all don't even listen when Karen talks, and then to turn around and want to tell her some shit. I'm done with you hosts. It's Miss Marie, and that's including Sabrina's ass too. It's Miss Marie or nobody, and that's including Karen's wayward ass mama. Because somebody said, why wasn't Miss Lisa the one that gave this news? Miss Lisa could not be the one to give all of this information, because Miss Lisa also has a soft spot for Zachary Taylor's ass when she needs to be on that nigga's ass. Okay?
She pissed
so it's Miss Marie or nobody. But yeah, shout out to Karen in the Karen season loading, baby. I cannot wait for this couple. They need to get on a good foot as it pertains to this, and they better not get up. Writers, y'all better not get up. We have to watch endless minutes of Zach and Fatima and their foolishness, and Fatima stepping, fetching it for that man, and Fatima enabling that man, and Fatima not getting anything that she damn deserves. I don't want to see none of that around Karen and or Aaron or the both of them and they twins.
I don't want to see it. Miss Lisa is already working my nerves. I understand that Karen is your daughter. You want to make sure that she's taking care of herself. But why are we acting like Aaron cannot take care of her? Because we don't need you to move in, ma'am.
We don't need you here. we don't need you. I said the luggage. The luggage?
You're doing too much. And then when Karen said, I had a visitor today. Who? Zach. I said, wait. I would be so happy. I long for the day when Zach is no longer at the forefront of Miss Lisa's mind. Because why is Zach the person that you automatically thought of? Why wasn't it Aaron? Because the last person that you saw up in this house was Aaron. You know that Aaron would do anything for Karen. He is her top priority. I mean, she is his top priority, her and the children. Why did you say Zach? See, you keep up Miss Lisa, because there was just no reason. As you said, she has a soft spot for Zach.
Mm-hmm.
Whether she admits it or not, you do. And every time your daughter is moving on, she says something, you got to bring Zach, you got to wheel him back into the conversation at her grand opening. You know, well, you don't need to be here because, you know, my daughter still has feelings for you. Does she? And then when Aaron left, you brought up Zach. And Karen was like, Mom, everything is not about Zach. Well, normally when it comes to you, it is, ma'am, go home. We don't need your energy. We don't need your energy, Miss Lisa.
You lucky you the mama, because we wanted to replace that H with something else. But go home.
I did. But yeah, I'm going to respect you. But you need to go.
And while we talking about Miss Lisa catches Pam in there doing ungodly things on that damn desk. I'm glad she got caught. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm glad Pam ass got caught, because she had no business. The fact that you are doing this, I thought that you were doing this in a closed down salon. It ain't right. It ain't right regardless. But the salon is full as, and you were in there in your lingerie, busting it wide open for the UPS man? Pamela.
Desk. On Karen's desk.
Nasty.
I said, Pam, we just wanted to spice it up. You have a home. And I'm sure that Trey has a home with some roommates.
There's an alley out back. Didn't Karen just see him kissing some hoe in the alley out back?
Yeah.
Take it out there.
Y'all have cars. There
There
were
are
so many places.
hotels.
Yes.
Oh, but can he
It
not
was just
afford it?
uncalled for.
Like,
Possibly not.
neither can you, wayward ass receptionist, want to be entrepreneur. Pam, you focus on the
You a
wrong
whole
things.
businesswoman.
Huh?
You a whole businesswoman. A whole businesswoman. And you out here getting it in on Karen's desk. That was wild. And then to be caught by her mom. But as you said, I'm glad she got caught. But don't tell Karen she was just starting to trust me again. I'm sorry to believe you're not trustworthy, Pam. Because that was so uncalled for.
Completely.
So
You just
uncalled
doing
for.
at this point just to be doing it. Damn dumb, if you ask me.
Yes.
Shell says I don't
Would
trust
you?
Trey. No, not tenderoni Trey that y'all
I like him. I still like Trey, but I just think Trey is because if I remember correctly, Trey put the cameras up in Karen's salon, so his cameras
love.
all up in there.
Mm-hmm.
And you had sex with this woman in this salon, knowing his cameras up in there.
I don't trust him either. I
So
don't. I don't know if I
maybe we
can.
don't need to trust him.
I don't know if I could trust a man who got all these things to say, seemingly all the right words until the right moment. He also wanted to come down on Karen behind Pam, but Pam ass was dead ass wrong. Now you in here smashing on her damn desk. You're giving wayward, sir, and you already was
He is.
giving child. Your good looks can't save you. They never saved you as it pertains to me, but now they definitely can't save your ass because your behavior is giving Zachary Taylor light.
Yeah, he was giving child, baby. You was giving preteen. Okay.
Naya
You was
said
giving.
Miss Lisa talking about he fine. You know she like younger men.
You like them youngins.
She love them.
She like them
Okay.
youngins.
Are we talking about Andi? Okay, I will. What are you about to say?
Go ahead, sis.
Andi is not a ton, like she's the facilitator in this episode. It wasn't a ton to her, but I will say for the first time in a very, 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 very long time, I resonated with Andi in this episode. But I literally only resonated with her because this month for me has been a lot of thoughts around I'm tired of fighting. And her dialogue specifically just was so much of things that I have actually said to really, really close friends this month in particular. So it was less about Andi's character and the authenticity of it. I definitely will give kudos to KJ's delivery, for sure. But it was really just hearing my words back to me through this fictional character, going through a completely different fictional circumstance, but it's still feeling just as real, still feeling just as grave, right? And then hearing the response from Miss Marie and like also receiving that same response, whether it's from myself internally or from friends of like, you can't give up and this is what you do and you're strong and all of the things. But I really just resonate with the feeling of like, how much longer do I have to fight to be seen? How much longer do I have to fight for opportunities that I feel like I'm owed? How much longer do I have to fight for a rising profile? How much longer do I have to fight to sell this thing? How much longer do I have to fight to break through? How much longer? Because I feel like I have been fighting my entire life. Now, the thing that created a little bit of dissonance for me specifically with the Andi character is that I don't believe that she actually has been fighting. So the words don't match her actual lived experience. So I more so again gravitated towards and resonated with the specific dialogue on the page and less about her character. It just happened to be that she was the one saying it. And that's the thing that really like sticks out for me from the Andrea character. I'm gonna give some shout outs to Sundance because Sundance has definitely repositioned a lot of things in my experience this past weekend, has helped me specifically with the similar ideations that Andi was having in this episode. So that's all I got for
That's
Andy's
how that's how I
character.
felt. I felt the exact same way. It was powerful hearing what she was saying, and then also just as powerful to hear Miss Marie's response to that, and even the encouragement in Miss Marie's words. Like you stated, I completely just ignored the fact that it was Andi who was saying these things because it resonated and it was real. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that what she spoke to a lot of black women in professional, spaces, where you feel like you're getting looked over on advancement. You're not getting as much pay as someone who you're even more qualified than, or you are a subordinate to someone you should be supervising. You're not getting say so in meetings, or they see your hand raised and they look over you. So it was so many things that Andi stated that definitely resonated with me, and just where I am in the space of my professional life. And then even with Miss Marie about, you can get tired, just don't give up. And that spoke volumes, because sometimes, baby, you just want to throw in a towel, like bump this, it's whatever. It's like, nah, you get tired. You know what I'm saying? We all get tired and well doing. But hey, it's okay. Get tired, but you don't give up. You keep going until you
Yeah.
achieve your goal. You keep going, and knowing that certain things were built on your back, blood, sweat, and tears. You keep going, and it's sometimes it's easier said than done. But I just felt it was so powerful in that moment to have that moment, like I'm watching these fictional characters have such a real conversation about what's
Mm-hmm.
taking place in the world today and how it is genuinely affecting black women,
Yeah.
and the things that we need to hear to stir up maybe dormant gifts and talents that we just don't use. Whatever the case, whatever needed to happen, getting that strength from what we were being on what was being conveyed to us between these two particular characters. So yeah, it was like throw Andi completely out, because the things that KJ spoke so eloquently, Andi is not in that fight.
Yeah. Yet
We have
she
not
could
seen her
be,
fight. Yeah, she
but
could be.
she's not.
She could
Yeah.
be.
It's interesting because you have all these words about you so tired of fighting while not really actually realizing that you haven't really fought at all, because you've also taken a passive position and you want to play like you were the passenger on this ride. So which one is it? Were you driving
Yeah,
and still not getting where you were trying to go, or were you the damn passenger? You going to have to make that damn decision. And I think that that's where the next step in Andi's revelation is going to actually come from, of her identifying which parts actually fit which decisions, what seasons of her life. Because we definitely have seen, while Andi hasn't grown a ton, we have definitely seen various versions or sides of her over the course of these 8 seasons. And now it's time for her to take the time, sit with her feelings, sit with her decisions, and be able to appropriately label what with what, so that she can account for it, atone for it, and actually move forward and really get into the fight.
I agree. I agree. Because I want to know what this fight gonna look like for her, with Miss Marie telling her, like, if you ain't back at this place in a week. And what does that look like? Does that mean her getting her job back? Does it mean her, putting her foot down with certain positions? Because this was the board's decision. So what does that look like for Andi? Like that, I'm interested to see how believable are they gonna make this for this character.
If I was writing a child, that looks like the same thing that Zach and fucking Fatima should be doing over there. Of like coming up with whatever your case is to prove that you didn't do it, and then going about your life and excelling in your life. Andi needs to figure out, what does it look like to build the case of like, I didn't actually do it. So at this point, I am being persecuted for being a suspect because of my proximity to somebody who I have already severed ties with. I was in a whole other relationship. And does that look like you calling a meeting with the partners and you sitting them down and you walking them through it and you saying, you know what, I did make a poor decision in dating this particular man, but by the time all of this other stuff has transpired, I had already separated myself and had been moving through the process of managing him actually stalking me and him doing X, Y, and Z. And I like, there's so many places that she could go. She need to get on her Annalise Keaton and like, yes, I dated this man. Yes, this and this happened. Yes, whatever happened with the manager before that she wound up taking his position because he was doing whatever. Lay everything out, be accountable for it, but then also point to the fact of like, you guys don't want to be a law firm that don't support your only black associate when she is being subjected to mental, physical, and emotional abuse by a thwarted lover. I have done nothing but show up in this way, whatever. And now I need the support of X, Y, and Z. That is something that Robin ass can get behind, but you too busy trying to jump up in his face and play like he's the big badass villain trying to keep you from your damn job. Meanwhile, you are not actually putting forth a case that he can actually get behind and push for. Take your ass in there, be accountable for what you did do, point out what the hell that you didn't do, and then have a plan for what you plan to do moving forward so that they even have a reason to have you around. Because at this point, you look like all you down there to do is have a goddamn fashion show, so why do we need you here to begin with? If you're not planning to get your ass back to work, then why do you need to be here? You don't. If you don't plan to go get some more clients, you don't need to be here. So why are you here? If you don't plan to get some more billable goddamn hours going, then why would you need to be here? That's the stuff that you need to speak to. Your little I'm coming out moment in your goddamn pink ass suit when you sassated your ass down there and got sent back home, literally spoke to you, came in there without a goddamn plan, and you thought that your presence was going to be it. It ain't. The fight is you coming up with a goddamn case that's going to prove that you belong in this place, that you're going to actually add value to this place, that you didn't do what they said that your ass did, and you don't give a damn what they said that you did because you got work to do. That's the damn plan, Andrea Barnes. Don't piss me off. Ellie, why does Andy make me so mad?
Walk your happy ass in the only to be told to go home. Baby, Andy.
She came in with a smile and no plan,
Ellie. Yes, Andy got off that elevator. Thought she was hot. And baby, you was told your services are not needed, Andy. You can it's okay. You can leave.
You can leave. This home.
Honey. Hilarious. Hilarious.
That's what the fight looks like, Andrea Barnes. And if you ain't going to do that, then yes, bow out now. Sit your ass up in this penthouse, looking pretty, find some other man to take care of you. It ain't going to be Jordan. It ain't going to be Jordan.
No. He unraveling at the seams.
I'm so sick of Jordan's ass. He's
the way Jordan
one.
Slammed that hand down that table, I said, get him off my darn screen. Please, get him off my screen.
Please, sir, please. And oh my gosh, I can't think of anything else but Gary. You and your brother are crazy. You and your brother are crazy as hell. Gary is is psychotic. Y'all asses are giving sociopath. Yes, this man did a terrible thing to you. Yes, you lost your baby. For whatever reason, for 3 years, you didn't realize that this man was a goddamn psychopath. But girl, get a goddamn grip. Okay? Do you not have a job? Like, Penelope is literally just stumbling around, bumping into things all throughout Atlanta, worrying about Gary's ass. They should have left your ass in prison because at least you would have been contained. What are you doing? That's not good. They're gonna be mad at me for saying that.
I don't know. Oh, I don't know what she's doing. Cause what is Jordan doing? Does he have a job?
Well, no, he had to drop out the race.
But what does he do for funds? Like, okay, you was trying to go in that direction, but you don't. Oh, I forgot. He must be living off his residual football income.
Mm-hmm.
Child, I'm so pissed at them for saying he was a football player. I said the way that Jordan looks, it's only 2 sports he played. It was either swimming or golf.
Or lacrosse.
Or maybe lacrosse. Yeah, you ain't no darn football player. I'm just mad at that. I'm mad at that. No.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Is there anything else happening?
Oh, Robin and Penelope.
Child, y'all just kept reverberating in my head. I didn't put that damn scene to the back. I didn't say nothing about it in my breakdown, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all I apologize now. because the way I want to completely act like it never even existed, I do not want to see Robin sticking parts of him in the parts of Penelope. Please, the girl is crazy. Robin, please. You are never beating the charges. You are never beating the allegation that you like crazy ass, simple ass women if you decide to stick parts of you in the parts of Penelope. And Penelope, you're disgusting because you're low key attracted to this man because Andi had his ass, and you trying to stick it to her. Like, girl, grow up, get a job, go clock in, bitch. Penelope, please. Penelope, please.
But she was like, "Oh, what happened?" I said, Robin, you better not confide in this woman and tell her nothing that has happened between you and Andi Barnes.
Ooh.
You better keep that to yourself, bro. Keep it to yourself.
But Robin's so goddamn smooth.
He is. I mean, I understand why she would want to go there with him.
I do too. I
understand. But Robin, I'm gonna need you to
like
operate in some self-control.
Please.
Because please don't do that.
Robin, you better find that dick discipline. You better find it.
And sadly, I don't think he has it.
That is not the one. That is not the one. Start sticking things in. Don't do it. Do not do it, sir. All right. Anything we missed, y'all? She needs that Jack Stewart mindset. Period. She defined a Jack Stewart as her best friend and get the work. Andrea Barnes definitely needs a Jack Stewart because ain't no way. Jax would not have allowed this to go down. And Jackson done all type of stuff. She about to take a ride on the chocolate ass roller coaster. In the damn conference room. She was this close. And she still wouldn't lost her job behind it.
Baby. Now that's what I call control. Because the way that Jax was able to not go there.
Ooh.
I mean, that's something.
We need you to find that type of discipline, Robin. Because Penelope ain't it. She is not it.
She ain't.
At all.
In no way, shape, or form.
And if you ever have any hopes of getting with Andrea Barnes again, you adding Penelope to your roster will not help.
Lose all the hope, Robin, because you shouldn't want that either.
Anything else, y'all, that we miss? Anything that you want to add before we get ready to get out of here? You rather have Michaela from Keaton 5 than Andi? I don't know. Michaela pissed me off at the very end, y'all. She pissed me off. The way she turned on
who is Michaela?
From How to Get Away with Murder, the black girl.
Okay. Don't beat me up in the comments.
You never seen it?
No.
Girl. What the hell was you watching when all of us was watching Thursday night, whatever the hell they called it?
Girl, listen. I won't watch the TV. I literally just saw Scandal for the first time 2 years ago. I had that because it was on Hulu.
Brother.
And I binged it. I just watched Scandal 2 years ago.
Oh my goodness, Allie.
It's so much stuff I didn't see. It's so many things I haven't watched.
Clearly.
I feel bad. And I said, Allie, what the hell? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. Ain't no real said. Come on now. I'm sorry.
TGIT, that's what they called it. I was locked in set. I will never forget. Kerry Washington went on 106 in Park to premiere or to promote Scandal randomly. And I was watching it from the very beginning. And it seemed so weird and it seemed so rushed because there wasn't no promo out about it or whatever. And it just took off almost immediately. We did have a time, A Noel. TGIT, that was a time. It was definitely a time.
You didn't watch it. I knew something was wrong because my friend was like, I guess it was the last season of Scandal in whatever the Thursday thing y'all talking about. And she was like, "Oh, girl, I gotta go watch." I forgot which one. Did Scandal come on first?
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, yeah, Scandal about to come on. She was like rushing me off the phone. And she was like, girl, Scandal about to come on. We can talk about it when it go off. And I was like, yeah, I've never seen an episode. You would have thought I said the worst thing in the world. She was like, Lee, I know you lying. I said, girl, I'm not.
Allie, because we all was watching
I'm
it.
not.
Like, it was kind of like our thing.
Mm-mm. I ain't watch it. I didn't watch it.
Bless your heart.
I had no idea. I know it's so. I gotta watch a whole lot of stuff. I gotta watch How to Get Away with Murder. I gotta watch The Wire. Um, it's some other stuff I ain't seen.
Sure. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. All right, y'all. Allie got plenty of things to go watch.
I do.
Y'all, Harlem is back. My Harlem videos are up, and I'm sad that this is the
Yeah.
last season, but baby, they are. Episode 2 got me right where I need to be. Listen here. So if you like Sisters, I think you're gonna love Harlem. You should be watching it. The conversations that I'm getting, I cannot wait to have based off of Harlem. I don't watch the Oval, babes. Nope, I don't watch the Oval. But y'all, lock
Me
in for
neither.
that.
Never seen the episode. And I know somebody was saying you should watch it and review it, baby. I would never watch the Oval. I would never. When I tell you I'm done after Sisters go off, I am done with Tyler Perry TV shows. I'm
Really?
not doing this to myself. What? This is the first Tyler Perry show. I think for those who didn't know, this is the first Tyler Perry show that he was a writer on that I have watched. The only other Tyler Perry show I watched was the original House of Pain, and he was not a writer on that show.
Did you watch
He was
Beauty
just
in Black?
Beauty and Black, Beauty and Black, Beauty and Black, Beauty and Black. Oh, that's the one that came on Netflix. Okay, I didn't really consider that a show, but yes, I did see that. I don't know if I'm watching part 2 because part 1 pissed
Oh.
me the hell off. When I'm what? So let me rephrase that. When it comes to like a series like this, like Sisters, The Oval,
okay.
I would never watch one of his things again. This was my first and last one. This is my first and last Tyler Perry written show. Now I will watch any movie that he put out. I will watch any movie that Tyler Perry put out, any special he put out, any play that he puts out. But anything that is an actual series, I will never watch it again. I have watched maybe 3 episodes of Ruthless. I couldn't. I said, hell no.
Ruthless is
I never.
hard. I fell off in
I
season
never
4 of
watched it.
Ruthless.
Girl, I ain't get that far. I think whatever. I think they dropped like the first 3 episodes. I watched it with my mom. I said no, I can't do it. So I only watched 3 episodes of Ruthless. I've never watched Meet the Browns TV show. I've never watched. I think I watched maybe 3 episodes of Assisted Living. And when the new House of Pain came on, I watched maybe the first 7 episodes, and I was done. People tell me it's better now, but it's been years. I haven't watched it, so I can't. I can't. Because everybody be like, Tyler, they was like, he do good. Then he just started killing people. And my mom has watched all of his stuff, like all of his TV shows. And she be like, he just started killing people. And I'm like, for what? She was like, it's random. Like, it's just random. People just start killing. I'm like, what?
Ruthless is just so much debauchery. It's just like crazy. But Harlem, y'all. Harlem is good this season. Well, it's been good. So this is so crazy, Vaughn. You said you rewatched season 1 and 2. I was working on a video about Camila N. So I did not rewatch season 2, but I was like driving back, right? It's a 10-hour drive from LA to Utah and Utah back to LA. So on the way back, I was like, okay, I'm going to watch season 2. And I watched the whole season while driving back, and it was good. And then once I finished season 2, I was like, wait, I need to go back and watch season 1. So I watched season 2 first and then season 1. And then I've been rewatching these 2 episodes from season 3. I'm really excited for where Harlem is at. And I'm really disappointed that it's gone, or it's going to be gone. And I'm thinking about working on a written piece talking about the landscape of Black female friendship ensemble shows. Um, because between this, Run the World, and Sistas, like they were all supposed to be in a run-in for being like this generation's version of Girlfriends, and we still don't have that. And those two shows are now bowing out, and Sistas is still going on, but we are not getting what we need to give. Like the way that Harlem season 3 episodes 1 and 2 have given more than the last 3 seasons of Sistas in 2 episodes says a lot.
Let me tell you something. I am absolutely hurt that Run the World was canceled because I loved that show. I absolutely adore Harlem. Someone sent me the interview that the women did. It's like a 25-minute video. They asked me to review it or talk about it. And I am going to review Harlem as well. But not only are these women great on this show, they are literally like sisters. They literally know each other. It was so beautiful watching this interview with them. Um, just how in tune they are to each other, and it's beyond surface.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's beyond
And I can
surface.
confirm
And
that.
I'm like,
Like one of my good
oh
friends
my
is on the
gosh,
show, and I've spent time with the cast of
yeah,
Harlem, and they are like that in real life. Like we have been cutting up in a random ass dive bar, like doing the electric slide, like having a good ass fucking time.
yeah.
And it sucks. It sucks. Like somebody posted a comment like saying what they think is the reason why I got canceled. And I don't know how much I can say, so I'm not trying to say too much. But just know that the people that we see are not responsible for it being canceled. And it really just sucks. The state of the industry right now really, really, really just sucks. Which is
Mm-hmm.
why while I want to give Tyler credit and credence to like creatively do whatever he wants to do, you also at some point kind of do need to take responsibility for what you're putting out there, because you have built a pipeline that you can keep your things going however long, and things
Mm-hmm.
that have a little bit more grit and story to them are dying out because they are not built in the same ecosystem that you have. So why not call on people who can help you flesh out and make these things deeper so that we are getting 22 episodes of just amazingness.
I wholeheartedly agree. Wholeheartedly agree. Because Harlem is it.
Harlem is so
It's an
good.
incredible show.
It's so good. And it's unfortunately just suffering um, a fate due to the stuff that's happening at the studio. Everybody is down for it. Everybody wanted to still continue. Like everybody. But it's out
Yeah,
of their hands. Anywho,
that part.
and the family business returned last week. I got to put up my second episode video for the family business, but there's plenty of content coming to the channel. I said all that to say, y'all, check it out. Check out the stuff. I know I was a little bit slower. I also will be rolling out my Sundance stuff. I got a bunch of dope interviews that I'm going to be releasing, so be on the lookout for that and support your girl for me, pretty please.
Yeah,
Allie, what you got going on your channel? Good night, Demetria.
girl. And I was so slowful this week. Um I really have been, but majority of my videos will be coming out probably like Saturday. Well, I would say Friday, Saturday, during the weekend. It has been something. Y'all pray for me with this job. I'm trying to hold on because I need my insurance. But yeah, they'll be coming out. And I didn't even realize I was trying to watch the Mary J. Blige movie,
I
only to
haven't
realize I
watched it
don't even
yet.
have Lifetime. I don't even have Lifetime. I gotta
Oh,
get it. I was like,
I
because I don't
haven't
watch
watched it
Lifetime at
yet.
all. So I ain't seen the
Child.
movie. So I got to get it so I can watch it because I want to review it and talk about it. Um, but yeah, I got some other stuff coming out too. I finally edited my Moesha stuff and my the
Okay.
game stuff. Now y'all don't be coming for me because Janae was one of my favorite characters. I know a lot of y'all don't like her. Me and Erica briefly talked about this briefly. I know she
Wait,
on the other side of
Janae
it. Janae,
Moesha?
Janae on the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on the game.
I love
But with
Gabrielle, but
Moesha,
Janae?
I love Gabrielle too. I absolutely adore her. But even with Moesha too, because I've been wanting to talk about it for a while. I just didn't know what angle I wanted to come from it. But I see a lot of people on that talk about Moesha. They talk about Moesha from their evolved place
Girl, and I'm
and
so
not
sick of
where
it. I
they
am
were.
so sick
Yeah,
of all the
they get on
goddamn
my
think
nerves.
pieces. Love and
Yes,
basketball is toxic trash. Love Jones is toxic trash. Like, I I'm not gonna go into this.
I will fight somebody over Love Jones.
Tanya,
Like, don't play with me with Love Jones.
Tanya, you're gonna have to check out my preview video. I am gonna have a preview video, but we're not gonna talk about the preview in this live. I'm sorry, babes. But um I want to do a video to talk about everybody's goddamn think pieces about the past media, because we got all this criticism for all of the black media from before when that was actually great. And if we would return back to that damn heyday of two can play that game of love and basketball, of Love Jones, I think that we would be doing goddamn all right. Because quiet is kept. At some point, we need to take responsibility for our own actions. And while you can see something, you don't necessarily have to emulate something. And a lot of the media, like, I am so over black folks thinking that we need to have media that is completely devoid of trauma, completely devoid of pain. That's not even our real fucking lives. Black women, literally, Andi today, how much more we gotta fight? I feel like I'm fighting all the damn time. What do I look like creating something that has no goddamn fight in it just because, oh, I'm tired of seeing black women fight? If anything, show them fighting and winning, but like, y'all gotta stop. Everything is not toxic. It becomes toxic when you decide that you want to make this decision for whatever the reason is that you make this decision, and it's harmful to you. But that's a whole other conversation. I just gave y'all no context, but the damn think pieces.
It's the think pieces for me, and my friends
Moesha
know
was a
how
terrible
much.
friend, and then she grew into a great one. Like, are we missing that part? Oh my god, the
And
Joan Clayton slander that I see.
oh my God, people really do be coming for Joan. People be coming for Joan, and people be coming for Moesha, and I'm like, listen, oh, she was such a horrible friend, and baby, let me tell you something. Moesha has been gone off the air for what, about 25 years? I don't even know. I remember every episode vividly. So one show you can't argue me down on is Moesha. I said, now didn't Kim lie to her mama about Moesha them staying out at 3 o'clock in the morning? And Moesha said, Kim, I never stayed out that late with anybody. She said, oh, well, you ain't expect me to tell my mama I was with Michael, did you? And Mo was like, no, I much rather you jeopardize my reputation. And she was like, yeah, that's what Michael said. But Moesha the bad friend, but you lying to your mama. You was with your boy. I said, but I got so many receipts. But the episode that has gotten so much traction is the episode Labels, where they said Moesha outed, Hakeem's cousin. And I'm like, what? So the angle I'm taking these shows from is talking about the age I was when the show aired and my thoughts. And even if I'm going to talk about it from an evolved place, let's be real. I'm like, y'all trashing Moesha like she was just the worst friend. Was Moesha annoying at times? Yes, she was. Was she a goody two shoes? Yes, she was. But I'm like, it wasn't that she was, to me, she was no different than the average 16, 17-year-old girl who, if I'm out with somebody and I see a dude who I perceive to be gay and I tell my friends, oh, she was just so wrong. Why would you tell your friends that? You wouldn't tell your friends that? I would. Girl, I was out with dude. And this other dude came, and I think it's maybe, I ain't saying for sure, but I'm like, come on, let's be real. So I'm like, yeah, thank God for you being evolved and you are in a place where you are emotionally intelligent. Let's not lose sight of what was happening. The girl was 16. 16, like, come on.
Child,
But so
I could
yeah, so
talk
I
for
got my
days about it. I
videos
can't
out.
wait to see what you got to say, Andi, because
Girl,
I could talk for damn days. Because Quiet as Kept, them shows back then actually showed you a journey where there was some change. So even if
yes,
somebody
it
started out the
was.
damn episode trifling, they were held accountable to their triflingness, and then they learned to do better.
They learned to do better. And they were called out. They were called out on it. I'm like, I love that. I love that. What 16-year-old boy calling out his best friend because, oh, it was cool when, Kim was just your little chubby friend. But now that she the cheerleader, you can't take it. You jealous. Like, we need to see that. I don't even, what the hell do kids watch nowadays?
Hello.
I have no idea.
Period.
I love the time frame we grew up in. God
Okay.
knows.
So grateful for it. Y'all, I might be going live to
Yes.
talk about Harlem on Friday take a look or keep your eyes peeled to the community post tab, but look out for the videos regardless, because I will be dropping those. Check out Allie's channel as she goes back down memory lane and have these very, very important conversations and give good context to how these conversations have evolved. Okay.
Yes.
Thank y'all so
Yes.
much for joining us tonight for another episode of Tyler Perry Sistas. Sistas Keeper,
Yes.
the live after
Thank
show.
y'all. Good night, y'all.